Good afternoon, StreamYard and YouTube fans. This is Philip Reynolds, and this is week one, game six. We have the Louisiana Cajuns versus the Carolina Canes. And the Louisiana Cajuns has Shaq on it. Of course, because Shaq was on LSU. He played for the LSU Tigers. And I realize Carolina Canes is from the NHL hockey, but I just think it works for Carolina. Don't ask me why, it just does. We are using the mid-low scoring chart. And you'll notice that I use a notebook. I need to get some more scoring sheets for the Highlight Maker hoops. And I'm going to have to transfer this all over. And the reason I do this is because I mark here and, make the marks, the team marks here. And what I like to do when I transfer it over is I like to do the numbers rather than the marks. And I got my scoring on the bottom. And you'll see it has Cajuns versus Canes. So far, we have not had any all-time greatest players show up to the game. Don't ask me why. It's just, and I might have to rethink the idea of having them in the 4 and 5 slot and make it to where they can go up to the 3, 4, and 5 slot. Because so far, I think the most the last game we were like one away from getting to a all-time greatest player. And the last game, let me go back to the last game. Not game 5. Game 4 had our first. We had our first injury, and that was Green from Baltimore, and he is out. He rolled a 7, but he's out. He was out basically that game, and it came in the third quarter, so he was out that game, and he's out 6 more games. And that came in game 4. And I wanted to let you know that I found out that you want to be with games, you pretty much want to be set up, get set up as much as you possibly can. In this game, that means to not only get your fast action cards ready for the first quarter, but the second, third, and fourth quarters as well. I found out that by doing it that way, you actually cut 10 minutes off of your game time that way. And it also helps to try to cut down on the number of times you have to switch between camera to camera type thing. That's why I really like to just do it in between each quarter. But the fewest interruptions that you have between quarters, the better. And just you know, the best thing I can say is to take your time, make sure you got everything set up, uh, and to go with it. Have fun. Have fun. But I did find out that by pre-setting up quarters 2, 3, and 4 with the fast action cards, it actually helps save like about 10 minutes worth of time. We got the Cajuns, or the Louisiana Cajuns, are the away team, and they have Shaq on their team. And Larry Brown's team is the Carolina Kings. And like always, because it's easier to do it this way, I'll focus on the home team, which is the Canes, and when necessary, I'll move up to the Cajuns. Let's see if we can get an ATG player in the game today. I can't promise anything, but we'll see if we can. And let's get to the game. All right. Before I get started, before I get started, as you can see, I'm going to have to try to move my window shade down to see if things can come up better. All right. That's too much. Well, a little bit of that problem is pretty much a lot of that problem is the sun. Unfortunately, I wish I could say there's something I could do about that. There you go. That's better. There we go. We got Carney. We got Welp. We got Yates, Henry, and Chapman for the Canes. And we got Cunningham, Jerrigan, Benya, Butler, and Brockington for the Cajuns. I will be focusing on the home team unless something happens with the visitors that is phenomenal that we need to discuss. And let us go to the cards. All right. Home, offensive reach. Yes. And that will be a score. Carney will score. He has offensive reach. So he scores. And Jernigan is Louisiana Cajuns' go-to guy. So Carney scores 1. All right. Trailing team, push. That will be up here. That will be Jerrigan. And he does have push. And if you look at the card, that can be denied. It does have the hand symbol, so we will roll for the hand. That is a 4. 4 is reach. And he has offensive reach, but not defensive reach. So Jernigan will score, and we have a tie game. Okay, so we move to whelp, and basically that puts this back to normal. That is one thing I need to work on better, is the idea of working on seeing who has lightning. Grab on the trailing team, it's tied. There is no lightning symbol. It wouldn't matter because it went back to normal. So whelp will score for the Canes. Okay. Bia comes up for the Cajuns. Trailing team tip, and this means it would be Bia, and Bia does have tip, so that means that Bia scores. So it is 2, doing awful with the scoring. So it is 2-2. Okay, and we go to Yates and Bia. Offensive power, and this is no, so this will be Henry and Butler. Defensive smart, he does not have smart, so that means Butler up there will score. So that's 3-2 in favor of the Cajuns. And Chapman, it's Chapman for the Canes and Butler for Cajuns. This is time out. Let's see here. Well, going move it the other way. Card says time out, defensive adjustments. So, there we go. Timeout, defensive adjustments. That's for the home team, which is the Canes. Calishore comes in. We move him in the Chapman spot. And we roll the dice here for see what coaches we get. An 11, and 11 for Brown means nothing. So nothing happened with Calishore. We moved to Brockington for the visitors. Calishore came in. This card does not count. And ref look. Ref look, 2 shots. And we've got the star symbol for Calishore. And up here we've got the plus symbol. According to the rules, those are both equal. So Calishore will get the 2 shots. And that is an 8, which is good. And that is a 7, which is good. So Calishore gets 2 free throws, and that will bring in Chapman and Cunningham. And the visitors, according to that, the visitors get 2 free throws. So Cunningham rolls. That is a 7, and that is good. And that is a 10, which is also good. So the free throws over here, and I've got to move these, are all tied up. 2-2. So we've got Jernigan for the Cajuns and Carney for the Canes. Offensive quick. He's got defensive, so that's a miss. That will mean Welp and Bia for the Canes. And we got visitor. That will be visitor player with offensive smarts. And if you look here, he's got, I know that's hard to see, but he's got defensive smart. And the card says ball is thrown away. So that takes us to Yates and Butler for the second quarter. And that ends the first quarter. And it's 3-2 in favor of the Cajuns, which is a difference of 5. So there is no adjusted scoring. There's no adjusted scoring after the first quarter. So the Cajuns will get 3. The Canes will get 2. And they're 2-2 with regards to free throws. So each team gets 2 added. So the Cajuns will have 25. And the Canes will have 21. So after the first quarter, it's 25-21 in favor of the Cajuns. Now, this is where it helps to have your cards pre-set up. So we take it from the top, and we put them in the discard section, and we just go back to our we just go back to the stadium there. And we have Yates, and we have Butler on the other side. And this says offensive power, and he does not. So we go to Henry and the Brockington. Time out, and this will be defensive adjustments, and that means that Allen will come in for the Cajuns, and that is Allen comes in for the Cajuns, and that's their first sub. which means sub comes back down to Canes. And we roll for coach on the coach's card an 8. And with Casey Jones, an 8 is energized. So Alan energizes the Canes. And that makes it 4-2 in favor of the Canes. We have to make it. Wait, I'm moving the wrong person. Let's see. That makes it 8. That makes it 8. That makes it 4-2. And this card is discarded, means nothing. The next card, we move Henry because nothing happened with Henry. Kalashur and Allen. Visitor is defensive reach. He does not have it, so Kalashur will score. And that's the 3rd point for the Canes. So it makes it 4-3. Okay. Be Kalashur and Brockington. That's ref look. And this will go to Kalashur because it's the idea of a star versus a plus sign, and that is equal in the eyes of the rules. So Kalashur will get the roll here. And that is 11 is good for Kalashur, and 3 is a clank, so Kalashur will only get one of those. So that makes it makes it 3-2 in favor of the Canes on free throws. Chapman and Cunningham for the Canes. Oh, active player gets a injury check, and the last person was on. Basically, that is the last person to score was Kalashur, so that will be on the home team. So Chapman comes out. All right. And that will mean Tinsley and Perryman come in. Perryman. And that means that the timeout favor is in favor of the Cajuns. And now we roll our 10-sided dice to see how long Chapman is out. And he will get, and you'll see it here, he gets, I'm going to re-roll that because I thought it was a 1. So it is a 2. So he will be out this game and one more. So Chapman is basically out one more game. Okay. So he is out. Perryman and Tinsley are in. And it is Jernigan for Cajuns. All right. Defensive skill, and that is no. So, oh, wait a minute. Before I roll, I have to check on Perriman here. See if he energized club. And that is a 4. And that is complacent. So that means Cunningham, I moved it, and I moved it back. Cunningham will score for the Cajuns. And that makes it 5. Makes it 5-4 in favor of the Cajuns. Okay. And because Cunningham scored on that, we'll leave it there, and it goes to Tinsley for the Canes. Defensive skill, that is no. That means Tinsley will score. And that makes it 5-5. Tinsley and Jernigan. Timeout, coach. This will bring Stravinsky in for the Cajuns. Okay. And we roll to see. That is a 7. And a 7 for Jones is energized. So Stravinsky energizes. And that makes it 6-5 in favor of the Cajuns. Okay. And that makes it Carney and Stravinsky. Net for the visitors, and that is no. So that would be Jernigan and Welp. Big on home, and that is a no. So it makes it Yates and Villa. Pick on the home, and that will mean Yates will score. And that will make it 6-6. That makes it Yates and Butler. Last card, and this is Leap for the visitors, and Butler does not have Leap. So it makes it 6-6 at the end of the half. So we are all tied up at half, and it's 6-6. And Carolina has 3, and Louisiana has 2. 6-6 means it is a 53-52 game. So it is a 1-point game, and it's in favor of the Canes. So very close. And we have to reset for the second half. Cunningham, Jernigan, Villa, Butler, Brockington, Allen, and Stravinsky. And that means we start with Cunningham. And for the Canes, we got Carney, Welp, Yates, Henry. We've got Chapman, but he got injured. So that will bring in Kalashore, Perryman, Tinsley, Perryman, and we start with Carney. And it's 53-52, tied as score. Scores tied. Means the Canes will have potentially 11 points they can get, and the Cajuns can get 12 points. So far, no all-time greatest players have made it in, but the next time out goes to Carolina, and that would mean that Durant would be our first all-time greatest player to make it in the game. So we bring out our Game 3 cards. Our Game 3, but quarter 3 cards. And we go back down to the arena and start the second half. All right. And it's Carney and Cunningham. Offensive skill for visitors. And that is a no. That's double dribble. So Welp and Jernigan. Grab for the visitors. And that is yes. But there is potential to deny. So that is a 5, which is smart. And he has offensive smart, but not defensive smart. So Jernigan will score. So that will make it 7-6. And that will make it Yates versus Jernigan. Offensive power for the visitors, and that means Jernigan will score again. We'll make it 8-6. The Henry versus Jernigan. Snag for the home. That is no. It makes Kalashore versus Villa. Unusual event. So we will roll over here for the unusual event. That is a 10. Luckily, Tinsley has a starburst, so the visitors will not score. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, that's in the home stack. Tinsley has a starburst, so the visitors over there do not score. So that still makes it 8-6 in favor of the visitors. And it will be Tinsley versus Butler. Push on the home, that is no. Perryman and Brockington. Tip for the home, and yes, Perryman has tip. So we will roll to see if it's blocked. Sorry, and that is a 5, which is smart. And he has offensive smart, but not defensive smart. So Perryman will score. And that will make it 7-8. Okay, and that will bring Perryman versus Allen. Snag for the home, and that is a yes, so Perryman will score. And that will make it 8 to. That will make it 8-8. Leap for the home team, and that is a no. So it'll be Carney versus Stravinsky. Bump for the trailing team, and since they're tied, this would go to the home team, which means Carney will score. And that will make it 9-8 in favor of the Canes. Okay. And we've got Carney versus Cunningham. That's offensive quick. Yes, which means Carney, because it's underlined, scores twice. And that will make it 11. And that is the cap for Carolina. And there's only one card left, so the Cajuns don't get. If there would have been one more, they would have scored once, but they didn't. There's only one card there. So it is 11. It's 11 to 8 in favor of the Canes. Okay. $11 to 8. And I see that Wayne showed up to say hi. And it's good to see Dwayne. Thank you for showing up, Dwayne. I just finished the third quarter, and the Canes have 11 points. No, I didn't, Dwayne. I didn't see the YRL Division II race at North Wilkesboro. I will have to take a look at it. I will look later. So 11 to 8. This will make it 88 points for the Canes and 75 points for the Cajuns. Dwayne says I like the end of that Division II YRL race. I'm sure I will. The Canes and the Cajuns here are Blam fantasy teams, so I don't know how these players are. This is actually the first time I'm using these players. Right now, the Carolina Canes are winning at the beginning of the fourth quarter, 88-75. That's 13-point difference, which means that the Canes can score 16 points and the Cajuns can score 14 points. And I want to let everybody know I was telling everybody to try to set up your game to make it as time efficient as possible. And for Highlight Maker Hoops, that means setting your cards up beforehand, meaning the second quarter, the third quarter, the fourth quarter, so you can go right to the second quarter, right to the third quarter, right to the fourth quarter. Right now, I'm at 41 minutes. It actually, the one time I did it and found out, it actually saved me about 10 minutes. But I've been doing a lot of talking here, and that's why I'm currently at about 42 minutes. I'm just getting ready for the fourth quarter, and we'll see how things go. We've got Welp and Jernigan as our go-to players. Okay. Let's go back to the field. Welp and Jernigan are our go-to players, and we are flipping our first guard of the fourth quarter. Defensive spark. He's got offense and defensive spark, so that is that will mean Yates and Bia are our next go-to players. Ref look, and this one is Yates all the way, and he gets 2 free throw attempts. A 9 is a clank, and 3, 2. And a 7 is also a clank. So even though he had a chance, Yates. I think a lot of this is the sun. That's the reason why you can't see it. But it says right there that his clank rating is between 7 and 9. And he got a 9 on the first one and a 7 on the second one. So he misses, which means it's Henry's turn and Butler's turn, which it would have been anyway because it's a ref look. The next card is discarded. Doesn't count. And so this is another ref look. But this one, as you see, Henry has a blank and Butler has a plus, so this one will go to Butler. So, and he has a clank of 7. He gets a 6, so that's good. And he gets another 6, doubles both times. So Butler scores, so that means that it will be 4-3 on the free throws, and that means that the Cajuns are winning on free throws. The next card is discarded. Doesn't mean a thing. And it's Brockington and Calashore. The next one goes to Calashore. It goes to the home, and it can be denied, which means we're checking for reach on Brockington, and that will be denied because Brockington up here has a star on reach, so it is denied. So that brings us to Tinsley and Allen. And this is a ref look, and both have starbursts, believe it or not. And starbursts and starbursts. So when there's a tie, of course, Tinsley will get 2 shots. And that is a 5, and that's good. And that is a 5 as well. And so that makes it 5 free throws for the Canes and 4 for the Cajuns. The next card is dismissed. So it's Perryman and Stravinsky. This is a ref look. We've got a plus for Perryman. And for Stravinsky, it's a starburst. So Perryman will score. And we will check for the 1-and-1. And that is a 6. And luckily, the strength rating is a 4 to 5. So Perryman just made it, and that will be their 4th one for Carolina. Wait a minute. 4. So it's tied 4-4. Okay. And it makes it 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 for the Canes. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 8 for the Cajuns. So it's 12 to 8. Okay. Next card. Offensive spark. Wait a minute. It's now Carney and Cunningham. And we're looking for offensive spark. And he has defensive spark. So that means Jernigan and Welp come up. Trailing team, and that is Jernigan. And he has bump. I want you to look at this. Darn. Let me see if I can bring it here. That bump is underlined, so that means Jernigan will get 2 points, not just 1, but 2. So that means it's 10 to 12 in favor of the Canes. Okay. So it'll be Yates versus Jernigan, and this is the last card. Grab for the visitors. Jernigan does have it, but we have to roll for denial. That is a 3, which is power, but Yates does not have power, so Jernigan will score one more time. All right, it's time to tally up the points and see if we see what the final score is. But I see there's eight between the caps for 8 points for the caps. So that means Jernigan will get one more point. And that makes them 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 points. And Henry will get the next score. Makes it 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Be 13 to 12 in favor of the Canes. Now we have to tally up the free throws, and each team got 4 on this. So it will be very close as to whether they go to the final minute or not. 13 to 12, and that will be 109 to 105. Ouch. Look at that. 105 to 109, which means we will go to the final minute. And that means that Jernigan, because Jernigan was the last player to score, that means that Canes will have the ball first. So we will go to the final dice rolls. We'll go to the final minute with the Canes up 109 to 105. The Canes have the ball first. Right. Okay. And that is 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Active player takes poor shot or works ball. First of all, I got to move players. So that is, and I believe in the final minute you take out all substitutes. So let me get that going here. Cunningham, Jernigan, Butler, Brockington. So Allen and Stravinsky are out. And for Carolina, that's Carney, Welp, Yates, Henry. Chapman got injured, so he is out. And so that will mean that Kalashore stays in, and Tinsley and Perryman come out. And we go to Cunningham and Carney. This was a 6, so they worked the ball. All right. That brings it to Welp and Welp and Jernigan. And this is for an average shot. 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So brings it down to 24. 6. This will make it, because it was an average shot, this will be a clear shot, and this will be for Yates. So Yates is taking a clear shot, and this will be 1. So that will be a 5. And if you look, it says this is a bump. Subtract 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this will basically go to the defense, which is Butler. This goes to Butler. So this means that it is the Cajuns' ball. No, wait a minute. Subtract 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 38 to 14. 10. 4. 10 is enable. And we're looking at Butler. 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. And looking for spark. He has offensive spark. This will be an open shot for Butler. He needs a 1, 2, or 3. And that is a 6. That subtracts the 6 seconds. 6. And this will go to the Canes. 10. This goes to enable. And that is quick. And he has offensive quick, which means he goes to an open shot. Can Kalashore get it off? That is a 6. That is no. Says subtract 6 seconds. So we're going to take off the 6. And we're going to see this will be a poor shot. And it will be Cunningham that gets the shot. And he will need a 1. And he gets, oh, look at that. He gets a 2. So he does not get it. So there are no points scored in the final minute. So no points scored in the final minute. So this one will go to the Canes, 109 to 105. And that puts us at about the hour mark, which is not bad. I did a lot of talking, and this went to the final minute. So, and I actually even did the side notations for rebounds and stuff like that, which I haven't done in the past. So Carolina wins this one. We did have another player get injured, and that was Chapman. he got injured for Carolina, and he has to sit out one more game. So we have 2 injured players so far, and that's Green and Chapman. Green is out 6, Chapman is out 1. Still have not had an all-time greatest player reach the game yet, although the next player on the stack was Kevin Durant. And I think that's the second time that has happened. So, final here is the Carolina Cajuns 109 and the Louisiana Cajuns 105. So that means the East Division is still undefeated, and the West Division has yet to win a game. And the Pittsburgh Welders are going to try their luck to see if they can win. Before I go, and this is a thing that helps, before I go, we're going to go back down. And we're going to see if, because I have it slated as Pittsburgh versus LA, Pittsburgh will roll to see if they get home field advantage. They do not. So it will be Pittsburgh versus the LA Lakers. So our next game will be the Pittsburgh Welders versus the LA Lakers. And this is episode 196. So I have 4 more until my 200th episode. I have something special planned for you. And I would like, any of my friends that can to kind of join me and talk about sports and sports simulations and stuff like that. So Game 7 will be Pittsburgh Welders versus the LA Lakers. Very close here tonight, but the Louisiana Cajuns were just short. Until next time, guys, I hope all the rolls go your way. If you like what you see, subscribe, turn on your notifications, and make any comments that you will with regards to games or gaming ideas or that. Until next time, guys, I love you. I'm out of here, and I hope all your games are good.